Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Daytime. With us now is Dr. Brian Laing. He is my favorite veterinarian and the person today who is going to let us know that heartworm season is among us, but that is not always a bad thing because there's people like you to get rid of them if they happen. Yes?
That's right. Prevent them, actually.
Prevent them.
Yeah,
That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so when does heartworm season really kick into effect, and how early do we have to be in terms of getting our animals on medication?
You want to start around June 1st.
Okay.
And the reason for that is there's going to be mosquitoes before that. But, and it helps if you understand why you're giving it, to remember to give it.
Yeah.
And so what happens is adult heartworms produce literally billions and billions of baby, they don't lay eggs, they lay little baby larvae, which are microscopic. Like in a drop of blood, there could be a couple hundred. A mosquito picks up that from an infected dog's, so when it bites it, it sucks that up.
Yeah.
Then it takes 14 days of, 23 degree or 74 degree, depending which way you think, weather. It doesn't have to be in a row, just cumulative, for it to go from the mosquito's stomach up to its mouth parts. Now it can spread it to the next dog.
Oh, wow.
And then once it bites your dog, in its saliva, it injects out a little bit of these microscopic heartworms, drinks its fill, leaves. They then penetrate through the hole that the mosquito has punched, and that's how they get inside the dog's.
Mosquitoes are really not good for anything. They just ruin absolutely everything.
Yeah, they spread disease, basically.
Ban mosquitoes is what I would like to say. You have a picture or what a heartworm would look like. Can I see that bad boy? Can you pass that to me?
This is a heart, about a German Shepherd, Labrador size heart, and heartworm lives in the right side of the heart. What happens is once they migrate, as they migrate, they get bigger and they get stronger. And this is the key. Those adult worms are hard to kill. You need an arsenic compound. It's very dangerous to kill them. To kill the babies is very easy, and that's why we go for prevention. You can kill the babies for the first 50 days of their life. So knowing that, you don't have to start the minute mosquitoes are out. That's why you can start June 1st. When you give your stuff, it kills any baby heartworm in your dog that's younger than 50 days. So you basically need 14 days of 23 to 74 degree weather for your dog to start getting it, and then you want to start your pills within 50 days of that. And so when you start June 1st, you're really protecting back to April 20th.
Nice.
And we haven't had 14 days of
nothing like that.
Still winter, in my opinion. And so what is the process? Because there are different types of medication you can use.
Yeah, I brought in 3 examples, but basically all of them work once a month. The difference is what else they do. So for instance, this is a chewable. It just basically does heartworm and some intestinal worms. These other ones do heartworms and fleas as well, and some of them mange as well. So it depends on your dog's lifestyle. Yeah. If he's out in the bush a lot, or if you're near a forest thing, then this one's good because it does ticks and fleas. If you're just in an apartment walking around the block, then maybe your main concern is heartworm.
Okay, and so your vet can help you figure out what's the best for your dog's lifestyle.
Not a lot of vets have this. This is what I was telling you about. That's actually 4 heartworms that we took out of a dog's heart.
Whoa.
Needless to say, it was on postmortem.
Yeah.
Aww.
So heartworms are, deathly.
This was a sad case. The guy he was on HeartGuard. He forgot to give 3 pills, and his dog came down with it.
Okay. I got to ask you a question, sir, because there are people out there who do have pets who are out all the time. How do you detect that your dog may have contracted a heartworm?
With a blood test.
With a blood test? That's it?
Before you go on medication, your veterinarian will take a blood sample, and they're very, very accurate and determine if the dog has heartworm, because if it does, you need treatment, not prevention. None of these will kill the guys in there. In fact, that guy had been treated. It's an arsenic compound. It's very dangerous. So his liver, we were doing a lot of damage to his liver, so we stopped. We probably killed some. He died of other causes, I think 4 years later. So the owner said, can you open him up? Because he felt really guilty, and see how many heartworms were left. And there were 4. So they didn't cause his death. And he was very religious about giving his heartworm prevention afterwards. But you can see it didn't kill those. They still lived. We had to wait for them to die of old age.
Wow. So the key is to obviously
prevention.
It's that easy, and you have to do it
every
year.
Yeah, every year, just in the summer.
Once
it's just in warmth.
Summer.
If there's no mosquitoes, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, we are going into warmer months. Are there other things that people should be thinking of, especially when it comes to their dogs and them going out more often?
Fleas and ticks are in terms of parasites. And that's where We're in Stouffville, and so we use these two products the most because there's a nice regional forest to go for walks and stuff, and so there's a lot of fleas and ticks and things like that. And ticks are another great thing for carrying disease. They carry Lyme disease and other things.
Yeah.
And is there a threat for Jeff has a cat, I have a dog, but is there a reason for cat owners to be concerned about heartworm?
If they go outside, they can get it. They're much less likely, so the risk factor is less than
Okay.
dogs. Dogs are the primary target, and so wild, coyotes and stuff will harbor them. Cats can get it, but not as much. If you have an indoor cat, you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Yeah, one of the things I always want to talk about when you're here is weight when it comes to your animals. You have a fantastic app that is
Yeah.
available. Tell me about the app.
Best Dog on Diet. It doesn't work for cats. It's just for dogs. And basically, when you enter your dog's parameters in there, it will, first of all, help you decide if your dog's overweight. Because a lot of owners, they know if their dog's obese, but not necessarily overweight.
Yeah.
And then it will either put them on a diet or maintenance thing and monitors them via weekly weigh-ins and tells you how much to feed. You put how many calories and treats you're giving, and then it will figure out the rest.
Oh, that's brilliant. So did you develop that app?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, it took 2 years. It's based on
that's not
stuff
an
I was
overnight
doing
thing.
every day
No.
with owners. They would
Right.
come in and they'd say, "I'm feeding this. How much should I feed? My dog's overweight." And initially, before the internet, it was really tough because it's not that information. Kilocalories per cup isn't on the bag.
Yeah.
Over the years, we accumulated all that, and then it occurred to me, you know what? I could automate this.
Yeah.
But I built in a lot of safety factors, and that's why it took longer. Because normally they would come into me after 15 weeks, and then we'd decide if they still needed to
Yeah.
lose more.
Very
et cetera.
cool. Thank you so much.
Good. All right,
Dr.
guys.
Laing, guys, go to the website for more info. We'll be right back with more on the
betcha.
show.